Hi, friends. I'm Katie.
And I'm Lauren, and welcome to Okay, but Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today, we're recapping and chatting about Bob's Burgers Season 7, Episode 19, Thelma and Louise, except Thelma is Linda, and Episode 20, Mom, Lies, and Videotapes. We're going to start off with our synopsis for Episode 19, Thelma and Louise, except Thelma is Linda. Linda is in charge of the Wagstaff Bake Sale, and this is the year she is going to prove she can do it well. Mr. Frond calls because Louise is in trouble again, and she goes to meet him, insisting nothing will make her lose the bake sale. Louise is in trouble for pantsing another child. She says she did it to help pocket-sized Rudy from his bullies. Linda starts to defend Louise, but pivots to save the bake sale, and Louise is sent to in-school suspension. Louise is upset that her good deed is seen as trouble and refuses to help others anymore. But then her mother helps her escape the in-school suspension, and she is being rewarded for her good deed with a trip to Wonder Wharf. They're spotted by Frond at the wharf and have to make their way back to the school without being seen again. They make it back, Louise gets to leave her suspension, and Linda gets to still do the bake sale. Meanwhile, a cycling group starts to pile into Bob's Burgers and chaos ensues, including Teddy helping serve in the restaurant. Oh, I already know how your reaction's going to be that today. I can't wait to hear about this. But what did you get for the vacant storefront?
A curd in the hand, homemade cheeses. That's a good one.
That is a good one. And the pest control chuck.
These are a few of my favorite things, pest control.
They tried.
They tried, but they did give it the font of The Sound of Music.
They did. And we do have a burger.
We have a single burger, yes. It was the Glory Glory jalapeno burger. It comes with jalapenos. And I wrote down, I think this might be the first time we've ever seen Bob in the middle of writing a burger.
Well, no, we tend to see him doing that too with the whole gyro situation. Yeah. He does do it during that too, but It doesn't happen often that you actually get to see him write the burgers. But that just takes me back to like the beginning of the show when he like tells Louise, don't mess with the burgers of the day. And she's like, I don't have chalk. Like it reminds me of that moment.
I don't have my own chalk. Everyone's got chalk.
But the fun facts. The title and script cover for this episode references, of course, the 1991 movie Thelma and Louise, starring Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon. The plot also contains elements from the movie, including Linda and Louise thinking about jumping over the pier, like how Thelma and Louise drove over the cliff at the movie's climax. The No Pants Pulled Off Behinds program is a reference to the No Child Left Behind Act of 2001.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Lauren and I have actually discussed this topic before.
Yes, we have.
Heavily. Shit, what was that in?
I don't remember.
Was that I think it was like our first special a little bit, wasn't it? Because we got to talking about education.
Yeah, it might have been our first special on media literacy.
I think it was because we started talking about like actual just like literacy across the board. And I remember us getting into like the school aspect of it. So if you have any curiosity on how we feel about that, it was our first ever special.
Yes, it was. Special. Oh, that was, did you know Spoon Queen is the superior ship?
Yes. And then we have Miss Schnurr. It's such a hard name to say. I'm sorry. Is shown searching Yahoogle for celebrities without makeup. I can speak.
We've been talking for like an hour and a half. It's fine.
We have. But we of course love Yahoogle here.
Yes, we do.
And then Miss Schnurr references the Shawshank Redemption, saying that she is like the guard in the film and says that she hasn't seen all of the film. Louise escapes out the window bypassing Mrs. Schnurr, like how Andy Dufresne bypasses the guard when escaping in said movie. And my personal favorite, the hot dog vendor's cart at Wonder Wharf is simply named Hot Dog Guy.
Okay, then.
Good for him. Hot Dog Guy.
He's the hot dog guy.
I'd eat there. No, I wouldn't. Anyways, my one line that I wrote down, which I am going to stand by being the best line, is just, "Are you joyless, Philip?"
That's on mine.
It's such a good one. I love that his own mother is like, "You have issues."
He does have issues. I think I said I wrote down 8. To be fair, you referenced my first 2 of them being the we're part of a national program called No Pants Pulled Off Behinds. Then have you seen Shawshank Redemption? Not all the way. No spoilers.
For a movie that's been out for how long?
We've already established there's a statute of limitations on spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I need to start working out. Yes, you do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ooh, cotton candy. No, we're hiding. Oh, right. Did I say cool kids? Let's say slow kids. That one was very nice.
That would no.
When Linda says something ass, when like she's like, I mean, you know what? Don't say ass, say bum. Like, I would say she caught herself, but not that well.
No, not that well. It's the joy of parenting.
And then my last one. Those aren't eagles. Those are seagulls.
But like justice for Louise, right?
Yeah. For once, she did something nice.
She did it to defend another kid, and like that, it made me so mad. Because then I remembered in school suspension, I was only ever put in it once.
Mm-hmm.
I like to. I had like a whole year. I skipped class and still got an A in the class. It was funny.
Nice.
I got like half a day of ISS for it.
Yeah, I mean, I get ISS makes sense as a deterrent to do things, to not do things, I guess, versus like out of school suspension, because out of school suspension for the kids that are already
Yeah.
not going to class kind of feels a bit like, feels a little bit like a
Counterintuitive.
reward. Yeah, because like, at least with ISS, they have nothing to do but their schoolwork.
Yeah, you have to, because like when I was younger at my school, of course you had your ISS teacher, but classwork from each class, like teachers had to have something set up for students if that happened.
Hmm.
So you had at least 7 classes worth of work because
Yeah.
that was our model. And I remember it was really funny. The one time I was put in there, um, I was supposed to get like a week suspension, but my
Mhm.
mom was taught by my disciplinary principal when she was in high school. So I got off easy
Nice.
to the point he was the one that came in at lunchtime, was like, "How has she been?" And of course, the in school teacher's like, "She did all her work in an hour and has been reading ever since."
Mm.
And he goes, "Okay, you can come with me. You can go back to class."
Oh, there you go.
For like 6 months of cutting class. That's all I got.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
This is also the disciplinary principal that did not do anything to my brother for him accidentally getting a dumpster at the school to catch on fire.
Okay, then.
So they were getting rid of old ROTC stuff, and the dumpster happened to catch flames somehow when 18-year-olds are
Sure, that sounds
getting
plausible.
rid of old documents.
Yeah.
Oh, he no, to the point that my brother set off stink bombs in one of the halls. This
Mhm.
same principal walks up to him and goes, "Did you do that?" He says, "Yes, I did." He's like, "No, you didn't. Go back to class." Like, we got away with way too much in high
That's
school,
fair.
I'm not gonna lie.
I was a good kid. I didn't make waves. I mean, okay,
I
I
didn't
can't
do
say
stuff
that.
like that. That was my brother.
I
I
didn't, but
cut
I
class.
didn't do anything. Like, I would say I got in trouble once in kindergarten. That was about
That was
it.
enough for you. You were like, "All right, I'm never gonna be bad again."
Basically, yeah.
Oh my god.
But like, I just my thing is like, zero tolerance policies only ever help the bullies.
It really does.
Like, I would say 9 times out of 10, zero tolerance policies punish the kid who retaliates over the kid who does the habitual thing. Like, I would say I didn't have too much bully issues. I think my mentality that I
Lucky.
maintain now as an adult, I was kind of like this as a kid also, where I really just was like, I did not care if like there was more some kind of like emotional manipulation happening, but like it was never like, I was always the person of like, I don't care, say whatever you want about me. Like, it's okay. You're not
I
hurting my
had
feelings.
some interesting issues, but that's always because my height's always been a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I still get the same comments from people that not like just people I've met as an
Mhm.
adult. It's the same shit people said to me when I was 16 about how short
Yeah.
and small I am, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, you can only take that so far, man. 'Cause to the point people are now like, will do their best to come up with like a new short joke, and I'm like, honey,
It's
there's nothing else you can say to me that I haven't heard already.
they've all been said.
They've all been said. Doesn't
Like, when I
help that I choose to marry a giant. Like that just
yeah,
makes me look even fucking shorter.
it does.
Like, so but yeah, no, I dealt with quite a bit of bullying, mostly in middle school. High school is a little bit better, but not all
Yeah.
the way better. But nah,
In in
kids
middle
are mean.
in middle school for me, it was mostly these 2 girls that just because alphabetically, they at the beginning of the year when they put you in the
Mhm,
alphabet, they were always near me, that they tried to do that thing of, like, "We're gonna pretend to be your friend to make fun of you behind your back" thing, but I wasn't buying it because I didn't
mhm.
care. So, like, they would, like, try and, like, say things, I'm just like, "Okay." Like, they would, like, try and, like, ask to get invited to my bat mitzvah and stuff, and I'm like, "I think the guest list is set already." Like, I really was not having it at all. But in 6th grade, there was one girl that, like, I don't remember really what happened. I just remember that she and I had some kind of altercation by my locker where she got kind of aggressive,
Ooh.
but it was, like, more like she was, like, holding my locker open so I couldn't go back to class kinda thing, but, like, nothing because she was also smaller than me, so I really don't even know what happened. But I just I felt uncomfortable. So I did the thing that they kept telling you to do is you tell an adult. So I made an appointment with my guidance counselor. And after that year, she was never in any of my classes ever again.
That's interesting.
So I don't remember the context of that or what happened. I just remember it happening.
Yeah, no.
But
I don't
I
have
was not
many middle school memories anymore. They're
no.
gone, man. They're just I
Like
don't when people talk about their childhood sometimes I'm like, "How do you remember that?"
yeah, there's things that I like there's I mean especially middle school for me there's bits and pieces cuz that time was a blur for me.
Oh, same.
But like
Oh god.
especially with the red hair kind of thing, like kids tried to make cuz I was in middle school during I believe when the Gingers Don't Have Souls episode of South Park came out, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I
Let me
feel
double check on that, but I think I
I'm
was in middle
only
school that
laughing slightly that you and I have just dealt with, like, the same shit, but, like, quite, like, slightly different. Like, you're always gonna hear the jokes about your hair.
yeah.
It's never gonna stop. No one's ever gonna stop saying shit about my height. Like, but these are things that, yes, you can change the color of your hair. I can, like, wear shoes that make me slightly taller, but why would we?
So the episode that the Gingers Don't Have Souls joke
Yeah.
came out and it came out in November of 2005. I started middle school in 2006.
Yeah, that makes sense because 'cause I'm still over here, like, I was finishing middle school or 6th grade in 2000 yeah. So 2000 yep, that checks out.
So, like,
And
I
it's
was
been an
primed for that.
ongoing thing ever since.
Yeah, but truthfully, like, I just never cared. Bullies, you do your worst. I truthfully, like, online
Mhm.
trolls, you try to say things to me, like, I don't care.
See, and at
I'm
that
gonna
point, you can, like, actually block people who are, like,
No,
trolls
I
on the
know.
internet, so it gets even better because 'cause you're like, "You can't bully me because I won't let you."
My favorite bit of it on being online now, though, is younger people who, again, think I'm young because they just don't have eyes, I guess, I don't know. But they will try and insult you with insults that, you don't understand. Like, because
Oh, yeah.
their slang and everything
It's so different than
is
ours.
the context makes no sense. So I one time got told I have Hailey Bieber vibes. Don't know what that means, at all. Someone once told they came into my live
That's
one
an
time when
insult?
apparently, I have no fucking clue.
I thought
I got
everybody wanted to be like her. I'm confused now.
I don't know. I was told that was an insult.
Oh.
One time one person came in and said, "Girl, fix your eyelashes." I went, "What eyelashes?"
Can people just please comment below on Spotify or, when this comes out, maybe I'll just throw out something on Threads or something. What's, like, the dumbest internet insult you've ever received? Obviously, only comment it if you can actually do that. If it's so offensive you can't, please don't put that in our
No, but if
comments.
it's, like, something that's, like, built out of a slang or a meme that makes no sense out of context, we want to hear them because, quite frankly, that's what I love about the younger
Especially if it's a
generations.
millennial trying to understand Gen Z, because I can't. I've
I
tried,
s
guys. I love
I
you.
s I think I finally grasped the concept of "eat."
What is that?
But it still sounds terrible coming it still sounds wrong when I say
I
it. Basically
I
saying, you eat, you ate. It's a good thing. It means you did something well. So, like, people would come into my
That's
lives, so I
not
do
what my
singing
brain
lives,
goes
and
to.
no, it doesn't, but, like, they would s I would, like, do the singing lives, and I get people go like, "Girl, you ate." I'm like, "Thank you, I think that's a good thing." But what's funny is the first time I finally asked somebody, "What does this mean?" Because within your context, it could really go either way. They said that the writers really ate the Frozen arc in season 4 of Once Upon a Time, and I was like, "That is such a divisive season. I don't know if you mean that as a good thing or a bad thing."
That
And
doesn't help.
they said good thing. I was like, okay. From then on, I was like, but it's still like when in my mind say, like, oh, I can't even say it. Just
I
it
can't s
sounds
nope.
it sounds like our parents saying something is cool. It just doesn't
Yeah.
sound right.
And, like, I feel like us millennials are the first ones who are trying to be like, "Look, we're not gonna try to appeal to you. We're not gonna try and use your slang. We don't understand
No,
it." Our parents would, like, try to use our slang when we were younger to, like, relate to us. I'm not doing that to my children. That's just
no.
embarrassing for
My
both of
parents
us at that point.
my parents still ask me what certain like abbreviations and emojis mean, mainly because my mom works with someone who is firmly Gen Z, and
I'd
the
pay to
amount of
see
time
it.
one time she showed me, she's like, "Why did she use" she's like, "Why did she use a llama emoji?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" The girl was calling their boss's goat using an emoji.
Why did she use the llama?
She didn't. My mom just can't read the emojis.
Oh, okay. I was like, "Wait,
She
then why is it a llama?"
she did use the goat emoji, but it was
Okay.
the fact that, like, no, she's calling them
Okay,
goat
that
is the
I would
greatest of all
understand.
time. She's like, I
That
was
I
like,
would
mom
understand.
was like, okay, it's a good thing. I'm like, it's a good thing. But it's the fact of we're getting to the point though where I'm running out of knowledge about this.
Oh, no.
We are so far off topic of this episode.
I was just about to ask, so what did you think about Teddy's day as a Bob's Burgers employee?
It was too much Teddy. Um,
You haven't
he
said that in a
I
while.
haven't, but he touched people's burgers and the jalapeno eyes. What's really, really funny is I just made a jalapeno-based recipe today, and, like, I very specifically was like, "Gloves, don't touch anything."
I've made that mistake too many times.
I know,
And I
on
don't
this
even eat them
podcast.
all that much. Like, I'll make something for Steven because jalapenos are so cheap,
Mhm,
and I'll cut them up or whatever, and I'll forget to wash my hands because a kid needs something, and the next thing you know, I've got
mhm.
jalapeno juice in my eyes, and I'm just like, "Fuck me, I forgot I did that."
I wear gloves. I'm very intentional about what I touch with the gloves. I wear a glove just, like, to get rid of the seeds, and then that immediately goes in the garbage. Like, I'm very intentional about my jalapenos because I don't want jalapeno eyes.
No, it's very painful,
Yeah, it's not fun.
but I had a lot of feelings about Teddy serving as someone who has worked in that field for a long time.
I'm trying to push the jalapenos back on the burger, though. I'm like, "Do not touch people's food."
No, you put that back in the window and you let the chef do it. You let
Yeah.
the person who is actively supposed to be handling the food do it if you can. I mean, I've put stuff back on plates before as like a server or whatever, which is funny because I'm not a server anymore,
Mhm.
but I've done it enough. I got upgraded to bartending, and we're gonna stick with that because then I don't have to run around as much. I can stand behind my bar, do my work, and that is it. And I only
Yeah.
have to interact with you if you walk up to me. It's so
No,
much
that is
better for
fair.
my personality, in my opinion.
Well, it's so much more, but it was so much more fun. But I last time I was in Disney, I think, and I love this policy. I'm like, great, I can't eat all this food, but thank you. I got to think of chicken tenders as one does
Mm.
because the Disney World chicken tenders are fantastic. When she handed me the tray that had like the little basket that had the chicken tenders and fries on it, one of the chicken tenders fell on the tray, not even on the counter, but on the tray.
That's not that bad. They
Not, but she,
sanitize those.
but no, but she still immediately went, "Oh, let me get another one." I'm like, "I don't, no, you don't have to." She's like, she's like, "A, it's free, but I'm gonna give you another order of chicken tenders." I'm like, "I don't need, I ordered 4, I don't now need 7." But I then got a whole free thing of chicken tenders, so I'm like, I came back to my table with my family, I'm like, "Okay, I got free ones because one of them fell off."
Now I know. Wiggle the tray a little bit,
Yeah, that's how you get free food, apparently.
right? So yeah, that was a fun, it was painful to watch. It was painful to watch Teddy because he had no idea what he's doing. Because yes, I will admit, especially with the bartending side of things, you do have to kind of like really go off of how somebody looks because
Yeah.
in the bar, like in the settings I've worked in, like there is no remembering all those names. I have
Oh,
hundreds
yeah.
and hundreds of customers. There's no fucking way. It's not gonna
Mhm.
happen. Um, so you really do have to start doing it by how I know you because this is what you look like. Teddy doing it so loudly in such a small
No.
restaurant, the whole time I'm like, "Shut up, Teddy. Shut up, Teddy. Shut up, Teddy. Just do the job."
Read it, don't say it.
It's the proof that not everyone is built for that job.
This is true, and I'm aware I'm not. I could not.
Yeah, my
There's too
husband
much
is not
mental
either.
stuff needed.
Love you, babe, but no, my husband is not either. Um, I could it would be very awkward for him, I think, because he can't deal with stupid people. With his job, he can
Mhm.
get back in his car and drive away from the stupid people. You can't do that when you're
Yeah.
serving a table.
No.
So what did you like good vibes off this
No,
episode or
I did have good vibes, and one of my last notes that I thought was funny was, when they finally encountered Linda at the Wonder Wharf, Fran's mother talking to Linda was giving me vibes of my grandmother just telling random people she can't see,
oh my goodness. Well,
which
you should just take
I
your
feel that
grandmother to the Jersey Shore and get her face painted.
exactly, but I feel the need to say this for our listeners. My grandmother can see. She does have macular degeneration. She does, in fact, have something that impairs her vision. She's not blind. She just has a visual impairment.
It happens.
She can see. She chooses not to.
Oh my god.
I love I love my grandmother, but it's just, there's
I
times.
love your grandmother too. Like she has no idea who I am, but
No.
from what I've learned about her and heard from her, I love your grandmother. She sounds like just the sweetest lady.
She's a trip is the best way I could describe her.
But that's like the best in my opinion. Like
She
you
makes
want to
for
have an
fantastic stories.
yeah. What did you rate this one?
I gave this the same score as I gave her Once Upon a Time episodes. This one got 9s for plot and character and an 8 for personals. This one got a 26.
That is impressive.
That was a good score.
I did 7s across the board, so 21. It's a good
Okay.
episode, but
Yeah.
Teddy just it's
Yeah,
a lot of Teddy.
that's why I lost 2 personal points, it's just too much Teddy. But I enjoyed
Alright.
everything else with it, so.
Yeah. I really loved Linda and Louise's, like, aspect throughout this
Mhm.
because their relationships always is kinda rocky,
Mhm.
but in this one, it's very solid, and it makes me happy to see her still trying to reward her kid because she did do the right thing.
Yeah. It's a very Linda thing to do.
Yes. But now we are going into episode 20, Mom Lies and Videotapes. Linda is sick for the Mother's Day assembly, so Bob offers to videotape the performance for her. Thanks to the camera and Bob's lack of skill, he doesn't get the performances filmed for her. So the kids tell their mom about their performances with some added embellishments. Louise tells a Western story, Jeans is inspired by mythology, and Tina retells her own version of Alien. Now, I'm not going into the details per kid's story, or we would
Yeah.
be here forever.
Yeah.
We're back to one of your favorite things that Bob's Burgers does, which is the anthology episodes. But first, we need to
Mhm.
talk about our vacant storefront.
That was Sock Her Mom Ladies Boxing Gym.
I love that personally.
That
I
was a
would
good
go
one. It's hard
there.
to say, but it's
It
fun.
is. And the pest control truck.
That was Mother Knows Pest Exterminators, which
And
after that I wrote so this is a Mother's Day episode, I gather.
ah. At that point, though, I need Catherine Hahn, please, to play Mother Gothel.
She
Like,
would
the
I get
perfect
people's
casting.
no, it is, and here's the thing is I get people saying that it should be Donna Murphy who voiced her in the movie originally, but here's my thing. When it comes to the visual media, Catherine Hahn can sing, and Mother Knows
Yeah.
Best is not a particularly hard
It's one of
song.
my
It
favorites.
is it's for Catherine's range that we've heard her sing, she works just perfectly, but I would counter that comedy is more important for a live action adaptation than the singing because
Yep.
Mother Gothel is not a song heavy role. She's got one song and a
And an
reprise.
alto, which is easy.
Exactly, and it's in Catherine's range. The comedy is more
And
important.
Catherine is an amazing comedy actress.
That like the physicality, the facial expressions, the
The hair,
vocal
like,
range you gotta
all of
have, the hair, she would be perfect.
like,
Just like I get
she
people saying Donna Murphy, but and I'm always a purist of rights of first refusal to the original actor. I'm always in that
mhm.
camp, but in this case, I think Catherine's just the better choice.
She's perfect for it. It makes me think
Mhm.
it's like a Robert Downey Jr. moment. No one would have ever I do not think there was any other actor that could have done Iron Man justice because
No.
Iron Man's story, so much of it aligns with Robert Downey Jr. With his own story and who is as a person. And so I like when you have an actress that fits a role so perfectly, like if you don't get that person, it's gonna be really hard for me to watch it. Like,
Mhm.
and like give us a good live action, please. I'm just begging at this
Yeah,
point.
like, I'm just saying, like, if they did that honestly, if they did Tangled with Catherine Hahn, I would go see it. Doesn't matter what else is going on with it, I would go see that.
Yeah, 100%. Like I don't know who would play everybody else.
I have no idea.
I just
I think people
know
are
the
s
one guy that plays Flynn, the voice. No, someone else.
no,
Someone
no,
else.
no, no Zachary Levi. I think maybe did I see McKenna Grace as people saying for would I guess I don't know if she can sing, but I mean, that would make sense
Yeah.
physicality-wise for Rapunzel.
Well, the voice actors for her, I just don't think they look enough alike. She looks so far different. It's what's her name? Oh my god.
Mandy Moore.
Thank you. She just doesn't look like her
They have
character.
more of her face. They have more of her face in Rapunzel, less than anything else.
Yeah.
Because at the time of recording, she probably was in, I think, in her early 30s, and Rapunzel's 18.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna be possible. But like, yeah, but no, Catherine Hahn has to play that. All right.
Yes.
Well, the title and the script cover are references to the 1989 movie Sex, Lies, and Videotape, which I find
Mhm.
interesting. This episode is the show's first Mother Day themed episode. Eat Spray Linda was originally meant to be a Mother's Day episode, but
Mhm.
they shifted it on the focus of Linda's birthday after some uncertainty over the episode would go. The episode aired May
Mhm.
7th, 2017, which is only a week before Mother's Day due to Fox's coverage of the 2017 Miss USA competition, preempting its Sunday night lineup that night. So, once again, it's just something getting in the way of Bob's Burgers. If it's not football season, it's something else. Like,
Mhm.
like the season is spaced out so much that the summers
Yeah.
just feel bland because we don't get Bob's
Yeah,
during the
fair.
summer. We start back up in September. It ends usually about May, but there's so many breaks in between. You
Mhm.
feel like you're getting nothing. It's
Yeah.
not a fun experience. It's like being a Bob's fan is actually really frustrating because you're just like, give us the
Mhm.
episodes. And then every week you don't know if you're gonna get another one. You're just waiting to see what happens.
Fair.
Tina's Story is a parody of Aliens, the second installment in the Alien movie franchise. The sixth installment, Alien Covenant, premiered in some territories 3 days after this episode first aired.
Okay, then.
Which I think she keeps playing Sigourney Weaver. I can say her name because she also did that with the oh my god, what was it called? The musical they put on.
Yeah.
Because she technically plays Sigourney Weaver's character in that too.
Wait, which musical?
Wait, the one the kids did.
I'm thinking of the turkey one.
No,
That's
not
what
the
you're thinking.
turkey one. The other one with the okay. We're gonna remember this. We've talked
It's gonna
about
come
it.
back. It's gonna be a little less episode. It'll come back in like in 20
It'll come
minutes.
back. It was because half the storyline was Die Hard.
Working Girl.
Thank you. God, I could not fucking remember that. Gene asks Bob, is that a flux capacitor regarding his camcorder, a Back to the Future reference? Tina asks if it transformed anything, referring to Transformers, which was fun. And it is revealed in this episode that Gene is in the 6th grade. It has never been mentioned or confirmed anywhere else until now.
So I guess that makes sense. They're 2 years apart. You got 4th, 6th, and 8th grade.
Makes perfect sense. I didn't write notes. I only wrote lines.
Okay, I have notes.
I have 4 lines.
I have 8.
Gee, okay, you had a great time with these.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first then.
You mean Mothers and Primary Caregivers Appreciation Cabaret? I liked that renaming.
I'm not gonna actually say my first one because I just said it technically because it was like, whoa, that's a flux. Is that a flux capacitor? Okay. So I just realized that's the first one I wrote down. I thought it was funny.
It's funny. Yeah, people are fools for using a higher quality machine that also fits in their pocket.
Oh god, squatting is hard.
You were in jail on business.
What you knitting? Spurs.
And then ask them if they like mom jeans that were invented recently.
It was like Avenue Q meets Caligula meets a fight outside of a Dairy Queen. But then I love when like just after that Bob's like, you've seen Caligula? But Gene, you've seen Caligula? Like they're just both back and forth.
Yeah. I wrote that one down too. Is it safe for a kid to fall from a 2nd floor balcony like that? She's Jessica Alba's stunt double. It's kind of a mishmash, Greek, Roman, Pokemon. And then they express themselves through pulleys. I don't even remember what that's a reference to.
No, it was a ride. It was a ride. So of course we have to ask, which of the kids' stories was your favorite?
I think Louise's, partially, that one I have the most notes on, it seems. Like I kind of I basically for Jeans, I just went, God's making unlimited breadsticks makes sense. Playing Keep Away over the audience is impressive. The production quality of the student production is amazing. And then for Tina's, I literally just have, so Tina's is just Alien. Interesting that the queen wasn't Tammy. I found that interesting that it was Jocelyn instead of Tammy.
I wonder if Jenny Slate wasn't able to do it.
Maybe she might have just not been available. And then the alien queen costume reminded me of a costume from a Star Kid production. So
it does. That's why I wrote on those. I know
it looks a lot like Pincer from Starship.
It does. Oh my god, there's a watch party for you. We watch Starship.
Oh. I wanna be Starship Ranger. Gonna do everything I can.
Fuck.
That's like one of the last Star Kid shows that I actually saw, though. I think Twisted might have been the last one I really saw, but that was like after that I didn't watch any of them. But Starship is just it's puppets and aliens, and they put in every fairy tale trope you possibly could, and the music is fantastic.
I've watched quite a few of theirs, and I'm trying to remember all the ones I've watched because of course I've watched at least the first 2 Harry Potter musicals when I was a kid. Never watched the 3rd one because that was just one they did on the stage with scripts. And I was like,
yeah, I didn't see that one either.
I was like, I don't want to put the effort into this if y'all didn't. Like,
no.
Take some time. I know their careers, a lot of their career, like, I mean, Darren Criss, his career was taking off when they did that. But I definitely, Starship is one of my fucking favorites, though. I loved that one so much. It's so freaking good.
It feels like peak Star Kid, and fun fact, I've seen them in concert twice.
I'm still mad about that because I remember being that kid who was the nerd, and I would try to show some of my friends about them, and they're like, "What is this? This is weird." And I'm just sitting there, watching these musicals on my computer at home on YouTube, trying to find the full playlist so I can watch the whole thing. But no,
I
we
got
love
very
Star Kid.
lucky. We do.
So you're saying Louise's, the Western.
Yeah, the Western I think is my favorite, and this time I finally did clock that I can't remember the name of the character, but that is Stephanie Beatrice. It
Yes.
sounds like her if you listen very
You
closely.
really gotta listen. But Stephanie Beatrice, she's such an amazing voice actor. It's hard
She
to,
is.
always know it's her. She's
Mhm.
so amazing. I mean,
As opposed to what we said in the last episode, the once episode about John Lithgow, where it's his voice, it's just his voice. When it's Stephanie Beatrice, like, truthfully, if you don't know to listen for it, you just because like there's like different kinds of voice actors. There's the ones that are like her that are kind of like chameleons, and then there's like I would say there's three. There's the chameleons where like you can never tell that it's the same person. There's the ones that can do different kinds of voices, but you can always kind of tell it's
H.
them.
John Benjamin.
H. John Benjamin, I'd put Alex Brightman in that case. Like it's still always slightly
Yep.
him. And then there's the ones where it's just their voice, but you're kind of okay with it, a la Keith David.
And Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman.
Always off. He doesn't really change his voice for things. But
No.
this is a safe space. We love him and Megan Mullally and always will.
Yes. Yes, we do.
I think.
But yeah, I was very happy that we had an anthology. I was very excited to see an anthology episode. Yeah, because I was like, I think at one point in the middle of the season, I was like, it's odd we haven't had one yet.
Yeah, because it tends to be earlier in the season. I've noticed. Like this one was definitely later.
Usually like midway, I would say usually.
Let's see the next one. So because after this we only have 2 episodes left.
Season's almost over.
Season is almost over. We are almost done, which is so weird. Because I didn't see it coming. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't see that coming. I was like, wait a minute, we're almost done? How did that happen? Let's see. Oh my God, we get to talk about that next. Oh. I'm trying to remember. Oh God, 7/8's a great one. Shit. I'm trying to remember which one is the anthology, though. Oh, we don't have one in season 8.
Aw.
That's why I can't find it. They skipped it in season 8. I'm gonna be honest, I think they did it. Wait a minute. How does that work? We'll talk about this after we're done recording, but I gotta fix something.
Okay.
So yeah, you're not gonna have one till season 9.
Oh, that's sad.
Not really, because season 8 does a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Season 8 is interesting.
Good to know.
So did you do you have any other notes on this one though? Because there's not much to really like. It's an anthology. The kids have a lot of fun. Of course, Bob messes up with the camera.
Yeah,
I think my favorite is all like. Yeah, usually it's the moms that take care of that. Not gonna lie.
Well, I'll say in my case, my dad was always the camcorder one. I think I wrote this down towards the beginning. So my dad is the camcorder dad. He had the bag and the big but he was also
that was my grandfather.
He was a good videographer. Like Bob is the opposite of my dad. My dad, he would block anyone, but he also would record just me on stage. Like he would zoom in till it was just me. Like regardless of what I'm doing, if I'm just standing in the background, like you could hear the action of what's happening on stage, but you're just seeing me doing like the background acting stuff. But when I was, which turned out when I was in college, when he came to go see like the theater group that I was in did our shows, I told him like, I know you want to see me. I want to see the show. So I was like, I had to ask him like, if you're going to record this, please show the whole stage.
Probably a great video then.
We have decent video of 2 of the, but it's of but the thing is he only recorded like the scenes that I'm in. So it's the whole stage, but
oh goodness.
It's still not the entire. So basically, I mean, to be fair, my version of Cabaret was already abridged. So like, but still, it's only the moments I was in. He did record the entire. My last time we did a review. We just kind of did a bunch of different stuff rather than doing an actual show because that's a conversation that should not be recorded. But
okay,
that's college friend drama. But that was when I was like, can you just record the whole thing? I want this because I knew it was my last show with them because I was student teaching the next semester. So I was like, I want this. And so he did actually record the entire show, which I was very happy about. I got to see. And that way, because no one else had anyone to record it. So that way, the whole group, everybody got to see their performances.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But maybe he should have checked the tape or the battery.
Yeah. Just check your things before you leave.
But also, first of all, the fact that the 6th grade was xylophone Greek myths was confusing, but I was kind of upset that Gene was the off-tempo one.
Why is that?
Because he's the more musically inclined person of the family.
It felt like it would make more sense if it wasn't the case,
Yeah.
like, if he actually had yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see that.
So I was like, I felt a little bad for him. I was like, he especially because I know they have time to, like, to practice these kinds of things, so
Mhm.
felt kinda bad.
I would say that in a later season and episode, he redeems himself
Okay.
with that. This is not the last time you see Gene with a xylophone,
Okay.
which is not an odd sentence to say, actually.
No, not given the
It's
show.
Gene.
Yeah, Gene and xylophone, that makes sense to me.
100%. I enjoy Louise's, I think, about
Mhm.
the same amount as well. I really enjoy I'm not a big Western person, but
Me
this is
neither.
something about Louise coming up with, like, what she did. My mom her idea of a mom is a great protector, and I
Mhm.
thought that was really sweet. With Tina, it was an interesting body swap situation. Like, it was
Yeah.
like Freaky Friday aliens,
Yeah, that's what 'cause, well, with
but
Louise's I
also,
liked Louise's the most.
like, kinda awkward.
Louise seemed to have the most she hers was the most detailed, I would say, out
Yeah.
of the 3 snippets, like, hers I mean, not that it was, like, it had the most production value, but, like, despite the fact that she was definitely coming up with it on the fly, like, hers was definitely I would say the more detailed, the most involved. Because I like this premise of they all tell Linda a story. I like that being the premise for this anthology, and I think it's we get to
Mhm.
see, like, these things through the kids' eyes and through the way they create things, and, like, feel like Tina half-assed hers.
Yeah, like, because hers is the only one that's not based on that hers is the only one that is based on something so
Hers
heavily,
is just
which
aliens.
she tends to do because she pulls so many things from the things that because all the writing that she does, she
It's fanfic.
is a fanfic writer, we know this. Um,
And I say
so
as a romance writer that pulls tropes and ideas from other places, there's ways of doing it that's not that.
yeah. I just thought it was interesting because I did love when, like, all the babies wake up and she's just like, you all need chest cavities to go and
Yeah.
hang out in,
Mhm.
like, you need to do all these things," and then getting overwhelmed, seeing the, like, I guess, the nurturing part of motherhood and getting overwhelmed and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I enjoyed that aspect, but definitely going the aliens route was interesting. It's like, she definitely was like, "What's the last movie I watched?" And that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
Like, how do I make that mom?
Yeah, exactly.
Jeans was I think I'm with you with, like, Jeans wasn't as much as we would have expected out of
It
him.
was disjointed. I mean, even for, like, an
Yeah.
11-year-old coming up with it, it was random gods that he made up, had a stick of creation that they should create a mom, and then I liked the aspect of them flying over the audience. I thought that was very clever, but,
Oh,
like,
that was fun.
it just seemed it's I'm aware that the premise of the episode was that they're coming up with it on the fly, as opposed to, like, last ones where it's been, like a written down story where they have more time to really think kinda
Yeah.
thing, but I don't know. It's the story other than Louise's, the other 2, their stories felt a little I think they coulda tried a little harder to make it more interesting for their mother.
I have to agree.
But I also actually one of my first notes was parents are the worst patients. Dads because men are babies when they're sick, and moms because they exhaust themselves when they should rest and take 10 times as long to heal.
Okay, I did not need to be called out like that, but I take your criticism and I hear you.
Yes.
Um, thank you.
You're welcome. Best I can do
Because
here.
I always do that. I will say I tend to do that as a mother, mostly because my husband can't get out of work half the
Yeah.
damn time,
No, that's
and I homeschool.
mhm. You have
Oh, the
excuses.
amount
He
of
doesn't.
days that I have to, like, parent from the couch because I'm too tired and
Mhm.
too sick.
Yeah. I mean, also,
I don't have much
I'm
else
not a
sorry.
parent though, so, like, I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can only judge from my thing of, like, in television and in my experience with parents that I know, this tends to be a common theme.
It's a very common theme, and it never ends, I feel.
Nope.
I lucked out to have a husband who, when he is sick, I actually have to practically beg him to call out of work if he's sick. It takes a lot to get him to call out of work. He's one of those guys that, like, "I'm not sick, I'm fine.
Mhm.
I'll be fine. I'll pop Dayquil, I'm fine." Will not rest. I have to force him to rest usually. Which is not normal for
No.
most marriages, I have found out. It is not normal. Usually men are, babies about
Yes.
Like, they can get a common cold and they're out. Not my husband.
That's
"Oh,
my
it's just a
experience.
common cold. I'm gonna go to work."
The man cold.
Oh, the man cold. I mean, I dealt with that with my father, but never my husband. I
Hmm,
lucked out with that one. He kinda cooks a little.
there you
He
go.
cook a few
That's good.
things. He cleans, he takes care of the kids. Can't complain too
Yeah,
much.
no, that's fair.
Look, he just needs to stop putting stuff up so high, and I know you listen to these now, so I can know where things are, please.
But now you have to retaliate. You put things so low he won't go down to find them.
Okay, he's the dumbass that doesn't bend his knees. I can't help him there.
So I'm just saying, you put things low enough, he can't even see them.
See, Steven, you've got Lauren defending you.
That's what I'm saying is you do that to mess with him. It's not. I'm not
True.
saying he should stop doing it. I'm
He
saying
does
you should
pay back, though.
retaliate.
Even more.
Yes, exactly. Even more.
All right. What did you rate this
I
one?
gave it a 30.
Really?
But yeah, I gave this a 30. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it, and like I didn't write down that many notes, but at the end of the day, like honestly, it was just fun to watch. Because sometimes less notes means it was more fun.
That is true. I gave it 8s across the board, so it's a 24, which I still feels like 8s across the board is still a really good score.
Oh yeah.
It's not low at all.
Hmm.
It's very enjoyable. I'm still just shocked that we are literally about to finish season 7 and I didn't realize it until today.
Yeah. I mean, it works out timing wise because if we're gonna finish
Yeah.
season 7 next week and then take 2 weeks off.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Life is crazy. Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Once Upon a Time, episode 404, The Apprentice. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. Follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and Blue Sky. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, you can find the link with more details in our show notes.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Katie and Lauren and edited by Katie.